and using sports as an escape and them hanging on to it means that they've buried that emotion deep, deep inside of them that they can use, for example, in combat sports when they're in the ring, when you really need to use, like you said, your grit, or when you really need to actually go ahead and do something. They can access that easily. But what they don't know is, from seeing the world of combat sports, is that a person who's lighthearted and let that go and is, healed makes a way better fighter than someone who's like really angry and takes that towards their advantage. Because that's the difference, I think, between Thais and, if we're talking about Muay Thai, that's the difference between Thais and maybe European or American fighter, the Western fighters, right? You've got Thais who are like very playful, but they're very skillful. One, because they've done it at such a young age. And we've got the Westerners who like really are trying, you can see that they're trying to go at it, but they're always outclassed by a Thai. Why? Because comfort, like not being tense and using that boom, going in every time for them, for the Thais, is their advantage over someone who's tense all the time, because that being tense, taking all of that emotion, is going to gas yourself out really quick. It's all good having a good mindset, but your body needs to follow after it, And I've seen a lot of athletes, even in sports of triathlon, where those athletes would get in a really dark place and have to bring all of that traumatic events in the past, and then based on those traumatic events, they use that. But what they don't know is it might do you well up until the middle of the bike, and then you just decline from there. And then mentally it plays with you. And then it puts you in a bad state as well. Whereas you need to go in being like, all right, I've trained hard enough. I'm going to give 100%. And based on that 100%, I'm going to be like, whatever the outcome is, I'm going to try and make sure I get the top and try and give my all. If the outcome doesn't favor me, then I'm going to try again. But for someone who's dug into that traumatic experience or a dark place, like you said, it's more like, oh, I'm a failure, I can't do this. And you get that talk. And that might even affect the athlete in the certain sport, because when you're in that stage, they're really hard to dig yourself out of. And you have to find different people. And that's why it's really important to surround yourself with those people who are going through similar experiences like you. It's always better to talk about it when you're getting in that dark place. It's always better to surround yourself with like-minded people. And that's what I think every athlete should have. Even professional athletes, yes, they do train by themselves all the time, but they make sure that maybe at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, they surround themselves with people who train with them. And that for them is a good enough reason to be like, all right, it might be a really hard day right now, but I can't wait for that day where I get to see my friends and make the best out of it. So yeah.
I think, thanks for sharing that. That's so informative. A lot of these professional athletes, they also have sports psychologists who are kind of looking and monitoring, and they have different various protocols and exercises to tap deep into those darker states.
Yeah.
I like what you said about loneliness, because I think about 2 years ago, Harvard released a study. They looked at, this is the longest study being done on anti-aging and stuff like that. I think it goes about 70 years. And what they found was loneliness is one of the biggest predictors of someone dying at an early age. So loneliness is worse than smoking cigarettes for your mortality and how fast you're going to die. And the other thing that I love what you said is the community part. Now, as human beings, as animals, we are meant to be a part of a tribe or a community, and that's how we flourish.
Yeah.